All right, let's dive in. We're talking about a technology that, in the very same breath, promises a total utopia and threatens complete extinction. I mean, think about it. Artificial intelligence could solve some of our biggest challenges, but the very people building it are also warning it might be our last invention. We're going to unpack that paradox. And let's start with the bright side. So, this is the vision, right? Straight from the heart of the AI revolution. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, he's framing this whole thing not just as a cool tech project, but as a mission to help out all of humanity. It's a really powerful, optimistic way to kick things off. AI as the ultimate tool for progress. And then there's this. A super stark one-sentence warning that literally puts AI in the same category as nuclear war. But here's the kicker. The most shocking thing isn't the warning itself. It's who signed it. Along with hundreds of other experts was Sam Altman. The guy building the future is also publicly warning it could wipe us all out. And that contradiction? That's the core of this whole story.
Now, this isn't just some abstract philosophical debate. Oh no, it's a very public and very personal feud between two of the biggest names in tech. And they're totally opposing views on how to handle AI's power, well, that could end up shaping the future for every single one of us. To really get this fight, you have to rewind to the beginning, back in 2015. Musk was actually a co-founder. He wanted to create a safe, open-source alternative to corporate AI. But by 2018, things had gone south. He left after a power struggle, and just a year later, he had to watch as the nonprofit he helped create turned into a capped profit company that was getting cozy with Microsoft. By 2023, his concern turned into full-on alarm, and he even co-signed a letter demanding a pause on all giant AI experiments. When that didn't work, his frustration just boiled over into a lawsuit in 2024. And this quote from Elon Musk, it just perfectly sums up his entire grievance. He basically believes OpenAI completely betrayed its original mission, that it threw transparency and helping humanity out the window in favor of profits and corporate control. It's a pretty serious accusation that hits at the very core of what the company claims to be. But all this personal drama is really rooted in a huge philosophical split. If you look past the lawsuits and the accusations, the real question is this. What is the safest way to build something that could become way, way smarter than us? Okay, so on the left, you've got OpenAI's strategy. They argue that safety is a science you learn by doing. You build it, you release it, you learn from how people use it in the real world, and you make it better. They think this slow and steady exposure helps society get used to it. But on the right, the critics are calling this an incredibly reckless gamble. Their point is, if you're creating a technology that could literally cause extinction, the burden of proof is on you, the creator, to prove it's safe before you unleash it, not the other way around. And the critics, folks from places like the Machine Intelligence Research Institute, they get even more specific. They point to what they call doublespeak, like saying AI progress will be continuous, but then also saying it'll change the world more in a few years than it has since the 1500s. And their biggest accusation is aimed right at OpenAI's plan to solve the alignment problem. Making sure an AI's goals match our human values. They say that building a superintelligence to help solve this problem is like trying to defuse a bomb by first making it thousands of times more powerful. It just sounds insane. So with all this concern escalating, the conversation has started to move beyond just corporate responsibility. If these companies are in an out-of-control race, like one open letter said, a lot of experts think the only real solution is for the world's governments to step in and pull the emergency brake. The most solid proposal on the table is something called a global compute cap. The idea is actually pretty simple, but also incredibly powerful. See, training these huge AI models takes an insane amount of computational power, or compute. So an international treaty could just ban any training run that goes over a certain limit. It's a practical way to stop the race to build a godlike AI without killing all AI progress. So what would a treaty like this actually look like? Well, first, it would set really clear limits on compute power. Second, it would create a new global agency, kind of like the one for nuclear energy, to keep an eye on things and enforce the rules. Third, it would lay out emergency plans and protect whistleblowers who spot something dangerous. And finally, and this is crucial, it would try to make sure that the benefits of any safe AI are shared with the entire world. Which brings us to the ultimate question here. The future of this technology, for good or for bad, is being decided right now by a tiny group of incredibly rich and powerful people. So who gets to decide what risks are okay for the rest of us? I mean, the scale of personal power here is just staggering. It's interesting, Sam Altman actually has no direct ownership in OpenAI, a move designed to keep him focused on the mission, but his influence is obviously huge. And on the other hand, Elon Musk's personal net worth is bigger than the entire economy of many countries. This isn't just a tech race, it's a battle of titans, fueled by unbelievable amounts of money, with the future of all of us as the prize. And while the debate often gets stuck on extinction, this power struggle has much more immediate risks. Sam Altman himself points out something that's frankly pretty unsettling. We tell ChatGPT our deepest secrets, like we would a doctor or therapist, but none of those conversations have any legal protection, no confidentiality. He admits they haven't figured that part out yet, which leaves this massive privacy hole that millions of us are just walking into every single day. So this is where we're left. We have a technology that its own creators are comparing to nuclear weapons. We have a race to the top that's fueled by billions of dollars, driven by huge personalities with totally different visions for our future. And we have a proposal for a global emergency brake that may or may not ever see the light of day. Which leaves us all with that final unanswered question. In a race this fast, with stakes this high, who actually gets to hit the brakes?